Hey guys, today we're going to talk about solving systems of equations by elimination. Remember, this is a method that we use for systems of equations by subtracting the equations to eliminate a variable. Remember, this can be subtracting or it can be addition. We'll talk more about that in a minute. Okay, so I've given you some steps to solve here. The first one is make sure the equations are lined up. What that means is y over y, x over x, and then your coefficients over the coefficient. Um, then you're going to identify a variable that has the same coefficient on both sides. So, for example, in example 1, y and y are the same. Okay, and then we're going to subtract. This says subtract. Remember, sometimes you can add. Remember, we add when there are different signs. So if you have a positive and a negative of the same variable, you add them to eliminate them because they make a zero pair. And then we solve the equation for the remaining variables, so x or y, and then we substitute that value back in, and then you get your answer as an ordered pair. Okay, so let's look at example number 1. Okay, our variables are the same with y and y, so we're going to subtract them. Y minus y will eliminate each other. 0 there because it doesn't just go away. Okay, now we have 9x minus x, which is 8x, and you have negative 23 minus 1, which is negative 24. So we're going to add 24 to both sides. So you get 8x equals 24. And we divide by 8, so we get x equals 3. Now we're going to plug that back in just like we did with substitution for x here. So we get 3 plus 1 equals y, so 4 equals y. So our answer is 3, 4. Okay, and remember you can plug it back in there to see if it works. All right, so let's do another example. We're going to skip around a little bit. I would like to do, so you're going to do example number 2 on your own. I would like to do example number 5 with you. Okay, so let's look at example number 5. Okay, you can add them or you can subtract them because we can get rid of x or you can get rid of y. I want to add these to show you just a different way to do it. Okay, so we get x plus x gives us 2x. Then we have y plus negative y will cancel each other out. And then we get 3 plus 7 equals 10. Then we divide by 2, so x equals 5. Now, we plug that back in, so we have 5 plus y equals 3. I just first equation, you could use the second equation, that's fine. So minus 5, so y equals negative 2. So our point is 5, negative 2. All right, let's do another one together. Let's do number 6 here. Okay, notice our variables are the same for x's and the coefficient is the same. So we're going to subtract those. So 7x minus 7x will cancel. Then we get negative 4y. This is a little tricky. Negative 4y minus a negative 10y. So that's kind of like adding, which gives us 6y equals. Now we have negative 11 minus 25. So we get negative 36. Divide by 6 on both sides. So we get y equals negative 6. Okay, plug that back into one of our original equations. I'm just going to pick, let's pick the bottom one. All right, so we have 7x minus 10. Plug in your y, which is negative 6, equals 25. Okay, negative 10 times negative 6 gives us positive 60. So 7x plus 60 equals 25. So we're going to subtract 60, 7x equals, let's see, 30, 35, negative 35. Then we divide by 7, so x equals negative 5. Okay, so our point is negative 5, negative. Okay, so that's how we do it. Now, I'm going to pause the video. You need to pause the video and do the rest of the examples on this page. So numbers 1 through 10, we did 3 of those together. Pause your video, and when you come back, check your answers with what I put on. All right, so if you want to check your answers, here are the answers. Number 1 is 3, 4. Number 2 is 1, negative 2. Number 3 is 4, negative 9. Number 4 is negative 7, 6. Number 5 is 5, negative 2. Number 6 is negative 5, negative 6. Number 7 is negative 7, 1. Number 8 is negative 7, 5. Number 9 is negative 5, negative 9. And number 10 is no solution. Now let's talk about no solution for just a second. Okay, so if we subtract these, 3x minus 3x cancels. Y minus y cancels, giving us 0 equals 9 minus negative 14 gives us, so you add it and we get 13. 0 does not equal 13, so that's why it's a no solution. Okay, remember if we were to get something that looked like 12 equals 12, that's an infinite solution. Okay, so if it's true, it's infinitely many. If it's not, it's no solution. All right, so let's go on to your next page of notes. This looks like this. Notice this is when your coefficients aren't the same. So this is where we have to go a little bit more in depth. All right, so what we do here is we have to multiply one of the equations to make common coefficients, and then we can add or subtract just like we did before to solve. Okay, so we have to look at one that is the most common. So we have x and 4x, we have negative 7 and 3, or negative 3 and 7. Okay, so which one is the most in common? I would use x's. So let's multiply the top equation by 4. Remember when we do that, we have to multiply every term by 4. So we get 4x minus 12y equals 8. Don't forget to do the other side as well. And it's on top, so it needs to stay on top. Okay, now we have 4x and 4x, so we subtract those because if we have 4, we need to subtract 4 to cancel it out to get 0. So 4x minus 4x will cancel. We have negative 12y minus 7y, which gives us negative 19y equals, then we have 8 minus 27, which gives us negative 19. Okay, divide by 19, divide by negative 19. Okay, those cancel, leaving me with y equals 1. Okay, now we're going to plug that back into one of our original equations. Remember, because we could have went astray over here, so we want to use an original equation. So let's just use the top one. So we have x minus 3, take out y, put in 1, equals 2. Okay, 3 times 1 is 3. So we have x minus 3 equals 2. So plus 3, get x equals 5. So our ordered pair is 5, 1. Now you can plug this back into both equations to see if it is correct. All right, let's look at number 2. Okay, all right, so let's look at how we can get these the same. Okay, we can change both of them, or we can just look at x's. So I want to do x because it's less work for us. So we're going to multiply it by 7. Remember to multiply it by every term in the equation. So I'm just going to bring over our top equation because it's not going to change. Okay, now our second one, we get 7x minus 35y equals, oh, let's do some side math. 47 times 7 is 49, 28, 3, oh, big numbers. Negative 329. Okay, so we're going to subtract these because these are the same signs. Okay, these will cancel. Then we have negative 2 minus negative 35. Remember, that is like adding 35. So we get 33y equals, now we have to do negative, so it's kind of like adding 329. Okay, I'm going to do some side math to make sure we don't mess up here. Uh, 297, and it's going to be positive 297. Now, how do we come up with what is next? Okay, all right, so now we're going to divide by 33. You might have to use a calculator, that is fine. And we get y equals 9. Okay, now we're going to plug that back into an original equation. Let's use the top one this time. So we get 7x minus 2 times 9 equals negative 32. All right, 2 times 9 is 18, so we get 7x minus 18 equals negative 32. Add 18, and we get 7x equals, let's see, 14, negative 14. Divide by 7, divide by 7, x equals negative 2. So our point is negative 2, 9. Okay, so that's how we do elimination when the variables are not the same. Okay, all right, so let's go on and let's look. I want you to do 3 and 4 on your own. And let's do number 6. So do 3, 4, and 5 on your own. Let's do number 6 together. Okay, so we could do y's really easily. Okay, but let's say we didn't see that and we have to multiply both of them. Okay, so we have to get the x's the same. So our least common multiple for 2 and 7 is 14. Okay, so what do I do? Okay, I'm going to multiply the top equation by 7 to get 14x minus 21y equals negative 140. Okay. All right, let's multiply the bottom equation by 2. Now, why do I do 2? Because we need to get to that 14. Okay, so 2 times 7x is, we'll put it over here, 14x minus 2 times negative 1 is negative 2y equals, and then 2 times negative 13 is negative 26. Okay, so we're going to eliminate this. 14x minus 14x will cancel out. Negative 21 minus negative 2y is like adding, so that gets us negative 19y equals negative 140 minus negative 26 is like adding 26. So let's do negative 140 minus 26. So that gives us negative 114. Okay. So then we have to divide by negative 19, divide by negative 19, which gives us y equals 6. Okay, plug it back in to an original equation. Let's use the bottom one. 7x minus 6 equals negative 13. So add 6 to both sides. So we get 7x equals negative 7. Divide by 7. And x equals negative 1. So our point for number 6 is negative 1, 6. Okay, you're going to work the rest of these examples on your own. So pause the video and then you can come back on to check your. All right, so let's review your answers. I've shown my work so you can see what I did. Okay, on number 3, it's 7, negative 5. Number 4, negative 3, negative 4. Remember, you can pause and look over it if you need to. Okay, number 5, we got 8, 0. Number 6 we did together, but that's negative 1, 6. Number 7, 5, negative 3. Number 8, negative 4, 4. And number 9 is no solution, because remember, if we get 0 equals negative 21, that is a false statement, which makes it a no solution. If it were true, it would be infinitely many. Okay, so that concludes our lesson on solving systems of equations by elimination.